What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. And today I want to talk about some things that I really want to happen in Scream 6. I believe that's the official name. I know that, we've had 6 of these bad boys now, and they've never actually ever put like a subtitle or anything like that, which I think kind of adds to the overall flair of these films. I guess with them, and it kind of tackles the whole meta thing that they go for in a lot of these movies. So, thank you for coming to this video. We really appreciate it. If you wouldn't mind hitting the like button on the video, subbing to the channel for more content like this. It's been a while since I've done a full-on film series video or anything with movies. It's just, we've had a lot going on in the world of gaming, so I've been just trying to keep up with that. I hope I sound okay. I'm using a new microphone here. And I have a new setup, so if you see me looking to my right a lot, I'm just kind of making sure I'm in the frame and everything looking okay. Hope the fidelity looks fine. Maybe you don't want to see me in the best fidelity, and that's fair. So, with that being said, I want to talk about. I had like a number of 5 things, but I might just go down the line of some things that I would like to see in the next Scream film, because we've had 6 of these, like I said before, and while we want things to stay in the same formula, right? If you don't have the same formula, it's not exactly a Scream movie, right? What separates this film and this franchise from other slashers, right? So you want the same type of things, but you kind of want it to be a little different too. This one feels different. I think this is the penultimate movie of the franchise, in my opinion. I feel like they're going with this kind of trilogy that they started in 2022, and I'm all here for it. And I'm sure you are as well. That's why you clicked on this video. And I just kind of want to see, some things I would like to see in the franchise and in this movie, really, and what they do differently. So anyway, that's what this video is about. If you want to hear a guy rambling about Scream for anywhere between 10 to 12 minutes, then you come to the right place. And with that being said, it's really early in the morning, so I'm taking some of my coffee and let's talk. So, let's talk about it, man. This franchise, and I've made a couple videos on Screams. I don't want to retread the same water. Maybe I'll put a tag up here at the top of this video. You can go look at them. I did one on the original Scream film, just talking about really just how great it is. I also did a Scream ranking. That was one of the first videos I did on the channel. It's very lackluster, not too good of editing, but it's a decent video that goes through all the movies, and it's kind of different pieces that I really appreciate. Oh my God, masturbate that I appreciate about every single one. So, starting with number 1, this is the first thing that I hope we see in Scream 6. Now, this film series has always done a good job of not having to have like too much gore to be scary, and one of the things that I hope they do in this film is I do want the kills and the gore to be upped up a notch. Now, I don't want a Terrifier or Terrifier 2 type movie, okay? That's not what I come to watch Scream for. I don't come to these movies to see a gore fest. I don't come to these movies to be just like, oh my God, like Ghostface is like disgusting. But new city, new rules, like the tagline is for this film. I would like to see some more gory parts. I would like to see this Ghostface being the most monstrous we've seen yet. And that's coming a lot considering I just seen Scream 4. I just watched Scream 4 again. And just how brutal that kill was to one of the teens in that movie, Jill's friend, that everybody was hitting on in that movie. She straight up gets mutilated on that bed. So that was a pretty decent level of gore that I kind of hope to see throughout this movie. And that's kind of the gore that I like. They didn't show every little bit. They showed her getting stabbed. You see, like, he would stab and rip, as he's like, as he's stabbing her. He's like stabbing and ripping, you know what I mean? So you're seeing like her guts and blood just being splattered everywhere. But it doesn't show it too much, and I think that's fine. If a lot of kills in this movie are like that, you see more of the aftermath. Because to me, the aftermath has always been more appealing to me than actually seeing it. Seeing the aftermath of seeing her laid there out on the bed with her guts out, that's a pretty sick shot. Steve's death in the original Scream movie, when he's sitting in the chair, the lights are off, he gets his stomach slit, the lights come on, and his guts are hanging out. That's scary to me, more than seeing the act itself. Does that make sense? And I wouldn't say scary, right? Like for me, because we've seen so many Scream movies, we've seen so many movies of this franchise. I'm sorry if you hear my chair squeaking. I just got this chair and it's already squeaking. um. Anyway, so the thing about this movie is that it always has this same kind of a feel. The movies in this franchise always have the same kind of feel, but I would like to see the gore amped up a little bit. And I do appreciate the kills that we don't always have to see them played out, but just more of the aftermath. So if they do that, that's fine. The second thing I'd like to see is I'd like to see them change up the killers a bit. In my opinion, like we've seen two killers pretty much every movie with the exception of Scream 3. And I tell you right now, Roman is a badass. That dude was killing everybody by himself. Everybody else needed a partner. I would like to see them get away from the three killer thing. I think that there's more than one way to do it. Like I'm hearing, there's rumors going around with this one that there's like a cult of Ghostface. That's a different feel to it. At least that'd be more than two killers. But I'd be fine with them just doing one, or if they're gonna do a cult, that's fine. But make the reveal more entertaining than okay, well, there's just two behind the scenes again that we've seen a bunch of times already. I would prefer if they did more of a change up, if they made it more like just three killers. And I know that's like, oh, well, you're just adding another killer in there. Well, I think you could do it in an interesting way, right? Like my prediction, and I don't know anything, so if you're watching this, I don't know anything as far as the plot of the movie. But what I think may happen is sorry. I think what will happen is Kirby comes back in this film, and Kirby, Hayden Panettiere, the actress, she's not going to play a big part in this movie, from what I'm understanding. So what I think is, I think she's going to be the first kill of the movie. Now, that's sad, but what I think they're doing is they're going to set up something pretty wild, and I think this kind of goes along with the cult thing, where I think that Ghostface will come up, or whoever's behind the mask. I keep saying Ghostface, but you know what I mean. They come up on Kirby's house. They chase her around. They might beat her up a little bit, but Kirby gets the upper hand and kills that Ghostface. Like whoever's behind the mask gets killed. Like I don't know if she bashes their head in, stabs them, shoots them. I don't know. Kills them. They're done. Like they're like erased from existence. And then right after she does that, another Ghostface comes up behind her and kills her. And that's kind of giving you the inkling of okay, like this is way more to it than what it's been. Like, and I feel like that's what they're going for. I feel like they're going to go for more of making this story bigger as opposed to just having two killers, one killer, whatever. And I think I'm fine with it because I think that's changing it up. I'm surprised they've kept this two killer thing going for so long, and it's still effective. That's the thing. Like, while I talk about this, like, I love all the Scream movies. I don't think there's been one bad one. Like, besides 3, which is, not as good as the others, it's not a bad film. Matter of fact, I like it more as I watch it. The more I watch it, the more I like it. But it is kind of nuts how they've kept the same sort of, like, thing. Two killers at the end of the movie. They have this long monologue, then they get killed. Like, they've done that same thing, like, several times, and yet it's still working. And it still works for me. I mean, I'm a sucker for it. And that's why I'm excited for Scream 6. Like, even if they do that again, I would still enjoy it. But I think that I would like to see more than two killers, have more people transpiring. The next thing is, and this is more of a fan theory, so I probably won't go to 5. This is more of a fan thing. And like I said, I'm just trying to keep this kind of short because I don't want to make 20-minute long videos, dude. I mean, who wants to sit here and listen to me talk for 20 minutes? Unless it's like a passion project or something. I think I would like if they found a way to put Stu back into the story. Now, I know that's a fan thing, and if some of you watching might be like, you know what? Why would you put Stu back into the movie, right? He died. Well, I agree with you. I think that if he's dead, he needs to stay dead. However, what I will say is that there's definitely an easier way to put him back in this franchise. There's a really awesome channel. I've mentioned him a few times in my videos. I'll put them down in the description. The channel is called We Watch the Movie. They're a straight up horror channel. And Mike, the host of the channel, he had this really cool theory about how Stu is still alive. And his theory was, and like I would like you guys to watch it because I might be missing a few things, but essentially We never saw Stu die. We saw, yeah, I think you see like two body bags come out of there, so you assume that that's Stu, Billy and Stu, but you don't know if that's Stu or not. Stu's parents were obviously rich, right? Look at their house, right? So they obviously had connections. The cop, the sheriff in that movie, he's acting suspect the entire time. Like when he's talking to Dewey, when he's talking to Sidney, he's just acting really, really strange. The kids, right? There's the kids that are at the party and they're drinking, they're drunk, and Randy picks up the phone. Somebody called him and said that Principal Hembry was hung from the goalpost and he's dead. And they all get up and leave. Well, I say all that to say is that I think, and this is a good theory, and this I tend to believe it if they were going to do this. I tend to think that Stu's parents faked Stu's death because the cop was shady. They have money. Maybe they paid off the cop to help cover up his death. I mentioned those kids that left the house because we all know that when they got in the car, they almost hit Gail and Dewey when they're going down the road. So they're drunk. We don't know what happened to them. You can sit here and say they died, got burned up, and one of those bodies, you put that in a bag. You have the right people. They can make that look like Stu, and you can fake Stu's death, but Stu's actually been alive this whole time. What Mike mentions in his video is that there's no way that Stu could be in prison. It'd have to be faked his own death. And I agree. I think that in order for you to bring him back, he would have to be fake his own death. And I think that would be really interesting for not only Sidney, right? Because you're probably thinking, okay, well, if they bring back Stu, they have to bring back Sidney. But not necessarily. If Sidney, Nev Campbell, wanted to stay out of this franchise, what they could do is they could have a really cool, interesting story between Stu and then Billy's daughter, Sam. And they could have like an ensuing war there. And like whatever. If it's this one, probably not. Let's say they make Scream 7 and that's the final showdown between Billy and Stu. Because obviously, like, right, every killer has a motive. What's Stu's motive? Well, he thinks that Billy ruined his life. I mean, he had to go into isolation. He couldn't, talk or see anybody or do anything. He had to hide because he had done those murders with Billy, and he was, not framed, but he was going down. I mean, if he survived that, he's going to jail. So it makes a lot of sense for him to fake his death, and it makes a lot of sense for him to be vengeful against Billy's daughter. Because come on, I mean, look, Billy and Stu were best friends. You don't think Stu knew that Billy was seeing some other chick because Sidney wasn't putting out? I feel like that's just it works a little too perfect. So I think, man, that would be an awesome theory. Will they do it? I don't know. But I think that'd be an interesting way to put him back into the franchise. So I'd like to hear y'all's thoughts about it. I mean, maybe you don't want to see him at all, but those are the couple things that I'm looking forward to. I just want it to be a little bit bloodier. I want them to switch up the killers. I would like them to incorporate Stu. I don't think Stu is going to be a big, like I don't think he's going to be a big, like, game player in this movie. But if they're doing this trilogy, I would like to see in Scream 7, maybe there's a hint that he's there. I think that would be cool. And they've already been kind of dropping hints that maybe possibly he's had a little bit more to do with everything going on than we think. So, they're definitely, setting that up. If they're not inadvertently, they're setting that up. Even if that wasn't their initial plan, they have been setting it up since Scream 5 for sure. With all the hints. I mean, even with the final battle being at Stu's house. I mean, you can't get any more like in your face than that. So, but that's really all I got for you, man. There's just a couple things that I'm personally looking that I hope to see in this movie, and I have a few more, but I didn't really want to go into full-on detail about it. At that point, just nitpicking. I'm excited for it. Are you guys excited? I'm assuming if you clicked on the video, you are. Thank you for watching the video. We really appreciate it. And yeah, I'll probably be making a few more Scream videos up till release. I'll probably watch them all through. Maybe do a more in-depth analysis of each film, except for the first one, because I did that one recently. But second, 3, 4, and 5, I'll probably go through those before the movie comes out. But anyway, that's all I got for you. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. And we'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.